So yeah, first you got to put your upward angle. Obviously makes it that godlike factor when you're taking your videos. But then too, for all you short kings out there, it makes you look a little taller.
Pod-A-Holics!
Oh shit, we like whoa.
Pod-A-Holics
Nah, we talking some
episode
shit. Just talking shit.
episode 22.
Not no 20. You need no
Not
motherfucking
no
approval.
not no 21. There we go.
We about to
Episode
be here to drop
22.
some bombs. Drop
What
some
is happening,
bombs on
y'all?
y'all having ass bitches.
We're
Anyway,
excited to bring the heat once again. Why you need to embrace shitty things in life if you really want to be successful.
isn't that the truth though? Like at the end of the day, everyone always wants to avoid these shitty situations. They want to avoid the things that are painful, the things that hurt, the things that aren't really obviously the most comfortable places to be. And I don't understand why like these are the things that we always tend to actively avoid because of whatever fear, whatever insecurity, whatever it is that's going out there, or especially when you're going through it, and then you always start questioning like, oh, why me? Why me? Like, why me? Because when you start looking at it, it's actually going through all these things are going to do so much more for you. But why is it that we want to avoid these? Like, Kevin, I know you don't like fucking being in situations where they suck. Like, I know I definitely don't, but like, what? Like, we had to kind of go through these things in order for us to not only just get to the place that we want to be, but understand why we're here too. And this is something I think a lot of people don't really look at when they go through these things.
No, so the first time you're in a bad situation, or I wouldn't say bad situation, like an uncomfortable situation,
This is a shit situation.
you don't really know that that's the situation to spark your comfortability with uncomfortable situations. So hopefully listening to this podcast, this episode in particular, if you're going through something kind of rough right now, maybe take a mental note of the feelings so that way you're conditioned for those feelings in the future. So for example, if you're going through like um a breakup, let's say, right? And I think all of us have gone through like that one breakup where you're like the end of the world is happening. Most of us go through it in high school, I feel like. But like
Peaked in high school, motherfucker.
yeah, like high school relationships, we thought, the world was ending. Oh, by the way, are we live on Facebook? Are we live? Are we good on Facebook?
Should be.
But like, let's take relationship for example, right? Uh Try now in your adult life, not obviously in high school, you would have never taken mental note. Like, I need to know how I feel right now, just in case if this ever comes about again. So, my suggestion to you is whatever situation you're in right now, if it's uncomfortable, take a mental note because more than likely it's going to happen again. And instead of being that needy high school relationship person where it's like, can't leave me, I love you. Why? Can't hang out with your friends. I'll kill myself. I'll kill myself. All this stuff, right? I'm being obviously over dramatic, but
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
we make fun of like things like that on occasions. And look, guys, don't come on here talking about Kevin. That happens in real life, dude. I get it. It's a joke, okay?
Yeah.
But like nowadays, I feel like so many adults treat their uncomfortable situations like that. Like, no, why would I? Why would I ever do that? Or they may not freak out like that, but they're like, I'll think about it. I'll think
Hmm.
about it. I'll think about it. Not so like flustered and anything, right? But like you may have already gone through something in your life where you just didn't take a mental note that you felt uncomfortable to prepare yourself for maybe the situation that maybe Corey and I are asking you to be in, or maybe like a family member is asking you to be in, or someone you're in a relationship is asking you to be in, or your workplace is asking you to be in, or whatever, right? You didn't take mental notes, so now you don't know how to react. So my suggestion to you is like, in order to get in a position to where you kind of feel more comfortable, in that uncomfortable growth is start to take mental notes. Like, this is how I feel. If this is the worst of the worst in this situation, and I can just deal with it for a little bit, I think I'll be okay. And if this ever comes about again, I know how to handle it. And most people just don't take that note, and that's why are scared of
Yeah, no, and
everything that comes
100%.
with it.
Well, yeah, and but then again, like that's also like again, like kind of used the metaphor in high school, like when you go through like your first heartbreak and breakup and all that shit. Yeah, it fucking sucks. Like we've all been there before, but it's like
Yeah.
one of those you don't take these mental notes, but then again, like you're still gonna start knowing these things. Now, again, when you're young, you might be a little bit more naive and you might be a little bit more trusting in a way. But then this is where we all fall into these types of things. And we'll get into that here in a minute. But we also got to look at why do these things happen? Okay. So yeah, okay, you got broken up with, you got stabbed in the back, you got betrayed, you got XYZ happen. Like it fucking sucks. You lose a family
Yeah.
member, fucking sucks. But then here's the thing: why do you go through these things? Well, one, you need to learn a lesson. You needed to learn something so then that way with that breakup where you got cheated on or treated like shit or used, whatever, you're going to start noticing these red flags because that was a lesson that you went through so that way you can learn that you do not have that standard for yourself where you will allow yourself to be treated that way. So next time you see that red flag, you're not going to ignore it like you did last time.
Hmm.
The other side with this is sometimes you need to go through a time of growth.
Yep.
Maybe the person that you currently are right now, you might feel powerful, you might feel confident, you might feel that you might have the world at the tip of your fingers. You might be a fucking child. You could act like a fucking little kid. You could just be completely blind to all the other things going around you because you're so tied up in all this shit. And again, I have fucking been there. Kevin, I know you've been there. But sometimes you need to go through a time of growth so that way you can grow the fuck up. Just because you're old, just because you're maybe above 30, above 40, above 50, that doesn't mean you're fucking grown up. I
Hmm.
know lots of 30, 40-year-olds that still act like they're going on 16 years old. Okay, so that's the other thing. The other side of that is sometimes you just need a fucking reality check. And you are not in the wrong, sorry, you are not in the right lane and you need to get the fuck out of it. Like this could still be in line with who you want to be. This could still be in line with the life you want to live. But if you're not living up to those standards of that life, you're going to get checked. And this will drive you into a different lane because even if the lane you are in, you still need to make corrections in these lanes when little things get in the way. So now, religious beliefs aside, because we all know I'm Christian and I have my own beliefs and stuff like that, just like you all have your own, which is perfectly fine. But things have a very, very, very interesting way of correcting you if you are doing something that's not meant for you. So this will continue to start either hurting you, backstabbing you, causing friction, causing whatever it is, until you're either strong enough to walk away from it or it's going to be taken away. You're not getting a fucking choice in this. Now, Kevin and I both have stories of this, and we'll get into that here now. So that way we can show you that we're not speaking out our asses with this, but we've actually gone through the same type of shit that has taught us these lessons, helped us grow, and honestly gave us that reality check we needed. So Kevin, like, what about you? Like, I know like my story, it kind of happens in phases here, but what about you? What are some of the things that you've gone through where you've had to kind of realize you kind of had to grow the fuck up a bit?
Um, Honestly, it always comes back to like my gym story, um, because like when I've been passionate about like health and fitness for a very long time. Um, and truth be told, I was kind of just led by just passion, and with that, um, I let a lot of things be driven by ego, which, truthfully speaking, molded probably the first like I would say the first like 4 years of my 20s, maybe the first like 5 years of my 20s, actually, where, truth be told, I was kind of a piece of shit. And in a way where it was like really driven by arrogance and a little bit of ego. And it all started really with the gym. Um, I got good at CrossFit. Like I got good at it. And I was in shape. I was getting really really good at my lifts. I took my L1. For those of you who aren't familiar, it's just a quick weekend certification course, or not certification, but just a course for CrossFit to kind of learn the movements. And then I had about like 6 grand in my bank account from taxes and things like that. And I went and opened up a gym. I didn't ask anybody for help. It was just me trying to do it. And, some people came over. I had this like major chip on my shoulder. Sometimes I still do, for sure. Um, but at the time I definitely did. And it just molded me into not necessarily the best of people, for sure. I was a little bit of an asshole to a lot of people, and it was just like the whole situation, once I figured out that I wasn't going to be able to keep it open, was like a big reality check, because like the things that I wanted to happen weren't happening. Like people coming to the gym, buying the membership. I had a few people. They were there. I started up like a Groupon. I don't know if you know what Groupon is, but it's like, something that you can post a little like coupon for local businesses and things like that. And I had some people come in. I printed out flyers, literally walked around neighborhoods, put flyers on people's fucking cars and shit, mailboxes, did it for weeks. And it just wasn't working. And I think the big thing was is that um the world was teaching me a lesson to maybe stop being an asshole. I don't I don't know how else to say it, but it definitely was a hard pill to swallow, to know that I wasn't going to be able to keep it up. And I was too, at the time I was like, I'm not going to ask for help, all this stuff, blah blah, right? But now, moving forward, 25 up, and I'm 29, so for the past 4 years I've been asking for help, you know. And that's more of a professional story. There's other things like life related, but I feel like that story is what's molded me to kind of become who I am today, for sure. To know that I can't just do things on my own all the time. So life in that situation taught me a lesson and smacked me in the face by saying, "You're not keeping this bitch open. This isn't yours anymore." And there was just nothing I was going to be able to do to change that. And I was arrogant and I held it for as long as I possibly could, but I couldn't keep it open. It doesn't matter what I did, couldn't keep it open. I think I had it open from, if I remember correctly, it was June 2015 um, to February 2016. So what is that? July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So 8 months it took for me to realize that this wasn't going to be something that, you know. So the big thing there was like, it was shitty. I was like, fuck, my gym, my gym, my gym. Like, no way. I like, this was it. Like, this was the thing that I wanted to do. And I needed to embrace that I had to go get another job, and I had to continue to grow, that it just wasn't my time yet. And I wasn't the person that deserved this yet. Truthfully, like, that's the best way to say it. I was not the person to deserve that.
Hmm.
And some
No,
people may
and
have, deserved it more than me, but I definitely wasn't the person to deserve opening up a gym and getting more people into the door. That just wasn't the case.
yeah, but at the same time though, like it's not because you don't that's not in your future to have a gym. It's not in your future to have a successful gym. It's not that it's not meant for you.
Hmm.
But at the time,
At the
no, it
time,
fucking wasn't meant for you.
nope.
Straight up, it fucking wasn't. And that kind of like goes off into, because so like I owned a gym too, and now I own a gym with some friends, and now like again I got in business with friends, but kind of throughout this, there's kind of two sides to the story. One side is I had to grow the fuck up. Okay, I was very blinded by materialistic things. I was very self-centered, self-absorbed. Even though I thought I was being inspirational and I thought that I cared about a lot of people and stuff like that, at the time, it's very fucking true that hurt people hurt people.
Hmm.
And it's not that I was intentionally doing it, but I was also very self-absorbed where relationships I wouldn't really give as much as I probably should have in those, and I took a lot of them for granted. But again, that's where then they would fall apart. And be like, fuck, I really don't care, because then just on to the next. I was a fucking asshole, And I didn't realize this until all this stuff happened. So I just kept going down this path of materialism, money, driven by like I have this fucking ego that you could see through the fucking atmosphere. But anyway, so all this shit need to come crumbling down and be stripped away because I was gonna give it up. But this is also like I was at the peak of an eating disorder. I was doing steroids. I fucking drank. I smoked every day. Like I was gonna fucking die probably in less than a year. Oh, and I was also working non fucking stop overly.
That was another thing for me too.
Yeah.
Just like the drinking and all that stuff.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous. But again, then we go into these phases where we need to again hide what's not right in our lives and project what's good, just like every on social media and not talk about the real shit. And that's where I was going down the wrong path. Now, maybe no, I was good at coaching. I still good at helping people make money, help them build businesses, but the drive factor behind it had nothing to do with me wanting to actually help people wanting to get better lives. And again, you'll see a lot of fucking mentors out there. And again, because I was definitely one of them where they will say, oh, I want to do this and I care about you to do that. They're so fucking full of shit because all they fucking care about is the money in their fucking bank account. And they openly will talk about it. And again, like this goes across the board for all fucking places. I'm not saying everyone's the exact same, but I had to get ripped away from that, go through a fucking real shitty narcissistic relationship where it drew out my bad things that I realized inside of someone else and what I wasn't happy with how I was getting treated, but then how I would reflect back on how I treated others in the past. So it's so fucking true that at the end of the day, what goes around is going to fucking come around. It's going to slap you into a whole new fucking life. 100%. And this is where, again, now this can go off into other things and why you need correction in your life. Because for me to go I was still doing business coaching. I was still doing fitness coaching. I was still doing all the things that I still do now, but it's in a different perspective. Yeah. Because I had to go through the growth. I had to go through these things. And this, again, going through these things and seeing it from the other side, this is where, again, this also led me to trying something again, where it's still in the same kind of a lane in a different area, but I still got hit with a fucking correction because it wasn't meant for me to be there. That's also how me and Kevin also linked up and how OMG was created. So where you go through all these different things, you have to go through the lessons so you can learn the things that you need to do so you can now become the person who's deserving of the life that you want. So why Kevin's gym got ripped away, he wasn't fucking deserving of it. Why I got my shit ripped away, I wasn't fucking deserving of it because we were compromising ourselves all the time.
Yeah, prior to the gym, so I'll give you guys a little bit of background if you're here just chatting and listening. So for me, like I went to high school, graduated from high school, obviously. Graduated a semester early with like 15 or 16 extra credits on my diploma. I didn't walk graduation. I didn't want to. My mom was not in town. She didn't live here any longer. She was the one who cared, but she didn't even care to come up. And my dad didn't give a fuck. Which, by the way, I have the best relationship with my dad. He just didn't care. And I was like, okay, cool. He was worried about what the next step was. He was like, high school's easy. What's like next for you? But when high school was over, man, I got to be honest. I had no intentions on going to college. I really wanted to go to the Marine Corps. I didn't go. I broke my hand, and then the paperwork got too overwhelming, and not overwhelming, but I just didn't want to deal with the paperwork. Had a metal plate in my hand, still have it. You guys can probably see just kind of like the scar right here, but nonetheless, didn't go and spent from around like 17, 18, 19, and 20 drinking. Like drinking, underage, truthfully, obviously.
All right, actually, you guys are 21 in the States.
Yeah, so we're 21 in the States, drinking. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't actually smoke weed until I was 18. One time, and then from then on out, it was like a handful of times. You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to smoke weed. I just didn't like how I felt at the time. And even now, I'm still kind of like, I don't know.
I try to get Kevin to roll up with me every now and then, but
he
forgot he lost his lighter and then miraculously found it the next morning. Weird how that one fucking happened.
That's funny, but I tried other things in the time. I tried other things in the time, and even after tried other things, and got caught up in that. Got caught up with partying. Got caught up with drinking. I've acted a fool, and then I was gonna pretend like I was the one to help people get better. What a joke! What a joke! You know, it's like, yeah,
I did
looking
that
back on
shit.
it, yeah, looking back on it, like I was in no place to be sitting there. Maybe I could teach you how to squat, get you decently in shape, but the thing about it is the reality check of fitness is that fitness doesn't just come with fitness. Fitness comes with emotional health and nutrition for the coach teaching. Okay? You come with three pillars. If you're a good coach, you have to be like, no one just goes to their fitness coach just to get like taught a squat and not conversate about other life things.
Mm.
That's bullshit. If that's the case, find yourself a new coach, because a coach is a good person. Like, a coach is a person who is living a good life and trying to be healthy in all areas and all aspects. And I just wasn't it. I just wasn't it. I might have been a good athlete, but
Mm.
from 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, it wasn't it. And this was during the time that I was at LA Fitness selling deals, things like that. Thankfully, I was just the personal training director and I wasn't one of the
Oh
coaches.
fuck, we want to go back into the gym and talk about how those are? Holy shit.
Yeah,
I
so
couldn't tell you
things
how
like
many
that.
times when I was a personal trainer, you go to parties and you got fucking these coaches and GMs and all that doing, well, being fucking bar stars is exactly what you think it is. Partying, everything. That's exactly what
Yes.
they were all
That's
doing all the
exactly what
time.
I was. That's exactly the world that I was in. I was there's two people at LA Fitness that run the show. It's the GM and the PTD. The GM handles the membership, the PTD handles the training. I was the PTD. So I was living that stupid ass life, going out to drink all the time, doing all the stupid shit. It honestly affected all my relationships in all terrible ways. All of
Mhm.
them, every single one of them. I acted a fool. I've even, dude, as funny as this may sound, I'm gonna embarrass myself here for a second. I've been at parties where I'm arguing with my friends and I'm like crying. I'm so drunk. I'm crying. I'm so drunk. I don't even like.
You know
I thought
what?
about
Anyone
this.
that says that they haven't been there,
Look,
we've all cried over shit we
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
have.
I'm like, I'm crying because like two of my other friends are arguing. Dude, how embarrassing. Like,
Yeah.
because you're so fucked up all the goddamn time. You're like not sane whatsoever.
Well, no, but then
Like,
that's the thing though. But the fact that you had to go through those things, the fact that you went through those things, and you know what? Yeah, you put yourself in those shitty fucking situations. Why would you put yourself through it? Well, guess what? You don't fucking think about what you're putting yourself through while you're going through shit when you're
no.
fucking trying to grow through from a really shitty place. Again, you are going to make mistakes. You're going to find yourself in situations you shouldn't need to be in. You're going to find yourself in places that you probably should have fucking gone to, but that's part of growing the fuck up. That's part of living life is you make mistakes. But here's the thing. These mistakes, these shitty things that happen to you, the times where you're like, oh, why fucking me? Well, stop saying why fucking me. Because there's a reason this shit's happening. It's because you need to learn a fucking lesson. It's because
Yes.
you need to grow the fuck up. It's because you're not in the right lane and you need a reality check. So
Yeah.
look at it this way. In order for you to learn, in order for you to grow, you need to, again, go through these lessons to gain the perspective so that way you can make those choices best for you. Kevin had to go through fucking drinking to realize he doesn't want to be a fucking drinker. I had to go through going through steroid shit to realize I don't want to do fucking steroids. I had to go through the fact I was bulimic and didn't want to go through all that fucking mental shit of body dysmorphia and all these types of things. I had to go through this and I also had to learn these things. But here's the other part. Because we did all this shit, because we've made these mistakes, because we've gone through it and these lessons and growth, we now have the perspective. So think of it this way. If you're always putting your own shit aside for others and then you get stabbed in the back, you need to fucking learn that not everyone out there is like you. Not everyone abides by the same rules and plays the same fucking game. You might be like, no, I don't want to do that to someone because of X, Y, and Z reason. While that person's sitting there like, I got this person believing that, I'm about to fuck them right up. That's the personality of some people because they don't play by those rules. And you need to realize that in this life, you are going to find wolves, you are going to find sheep, and then you are going to find sheepdogs. You are going to stumble across these wolves. You're
Yep.
going to find yourself in narcissistic relationships. You're going to find yourself in abusive business relationships where you're taken advantage of. You're going to find yourself in these fucking areas. But again, you need to go through these stages because you are constantly compromising your own integrity to meet others at that fucking level. Instead of having the self-worth to remove the things from your life that are not meant for you and are not a match for you, and you need to go through the growth of having those things ripped away from you or having those things drop out of your life in order for those things that are truly meant for you to fall within your life, but also for you to grow the fuck up so that way you can actually live the life that you need to. Because again, the CEO business owner over there of that Fortune
isn't acting like a fucking child every single weekend over here. He's not Jordan Belfort. He's a one-off.
but he was also a fucking wolf who fucked people over to get where he is. You look at any successful person who actually builds themselves on integrity, they didn't start off with handouts. They didn't start off with this shit. 9 real life fucking experience. So these are the things that you need to understand, that if you don't intentionally put yourself in these situations, but the event is going to happen and it's going to give you the perspective on the world. So that way, as you're able to now go through it, you're able to identify these red flags that you ignored last time. So, that relationship that you said, oh, I should have seen this X, Y, and Z. Well, yeah, you probably fucking should have, but you didn't take that mental note Kevin was talking about. So that way you can see that red flag. So then you go through these things. But gaining that perspective will give you the ability to navigate the flags so that way you don't compromise your way through life. So that way you're not falling into these situations over and over and over again, expecting a different fucking result.
Yeah.
So a lane correction is something like this. An alcoholic or a drug addict, how come they walk away from that life and then they become a successful parent or a business owner, a speaker, or a therapist? Because they've gone through that shit. They understand what it's like. They know what the life is like. They know how shitty it is, but they went through the lessons and the growth. How come a lawyer that fights for corporations to keep all their money will quit his fucking job and go volunteer to help the less fortunate, or create a charity to make up for all the shit they did in the past to give himself that fulfillment and make that impact?
Yep.
These are the things you need to think about.
Same thing with like fitness coaches. A lot of the good successful ones are the ones who are constantly sharing their stories with like the potential clients or their clients. It's like, hey, we understand like where this comes from, and like we're here to help you go through that, whether it be mental or physical. The big things is like, I fucking say it every episode, be self-aware of what's going on, so that way you can then take mental notes when it comes to this specific topic. Take mental notes of what you're going through so you can then know how to react and how to act the next time it comes around. So um that's pretty much it for me when it comes to this. I just want you guys to remember that being in a shitty situation isn't the end of the world. Don't ignore it. If it's not going to kill you, it may feel like the world's gonna end, just like the little high school girlfriend boyfriend analogy I gave at the beginning. World, might end. Actually, funny speaking, the reason why I have this broken metacarpal bone on my hands because of a high school girlfriend. She cheated on me. She cheated on me, and I punched the bus.
I punched a
shitty.
window once because of something like that, and it sliced my fucking finger open right here. I've done that before. But again, shit like that happens. But the other side of this, everyone, is no matter what, you're going to go through shit. No matter how high your life is riding right now, you're still going to hit struggles at each and every single level you go through. But then the thing is that when you get to the other side of what you're going through, you're going to see why you had to go through those things. You're going to see why these things had to happen to you. And you're going to understand that these things had to happen in order for those things to fall apart in your life. So that way, the things that were truly meant for you are meant to fall in the places they're going to be. When you stop trying to control all these things and you stop trying to avoid these shitty situations and try to live your life carefully, you'll actually start seeing real growth. Because think of it this way, the life that you're in right now, every decision you make, I got to think about it. what does he need to think about? Because this over processing of thinking and processing your way of I need to think about it has gotten you into the position you are today. So every time you say, I need to think about, should I do this to change my life? Or I need to think about this. Every time you've done that, it's led you down this path of you not being happy, not living your purpose, not walking in your lane. So something has to change. And you sitting there trying to think about it. Well, here's one more fun stat. Do you know that 27% of people, I got that stat backwards. People will spend 27% of their life worrying about shit that hasn't even happened yet. So that means you are so worried about all these things that haven't happened that aren't in your control. Things happen to you that aren't, why are these things happening, but they're happening for you. You're literally avoiding all these opportunities for doors to open yourself because you need to think about it and avoid a uncomfortable situation.
The worst never happens.
No, and at the end of the day, you've already gone through the worst. If you really look back at the top 5 shittiest times of your life, well, the thing is, you're still looking back at those things in your life. So you're still here. So they didn't kill you and you got through it.
Yeah, like the worst scenarios that we put in our mind never truly happen.
No,
I've
they
learned
don't.
that over time. I've been in
And
situations.
we've gone through some
have
real
had hard
shitty
conversations.
ones.
Yeah, have had hard conversations with people, and have thought, man, no way this ends the way that I want it to end, and no way is this any good for anybody, and then it's just fine at the end.
Is everyone, you're just gonna have to drop the ego and realize that no matter what level you're at, you're gonna have to go through growth. I'm still going through growth. Kevin's still going through growth. Always are going to be going through growth, and these things are always going to be for you. But you need to change that perspective.
And don't wait till things are perfect either. Like, you know,
there is no perfect. Perfect is this fake thought people think. Because guess what? I love to wait until the economy fucking stables out, the house market isn't shit, and fucking all these taxes come back down because we gave out all this money for no fucking reason. But yet, I'm gonna wait fucking forever to buy a house.
Yep.
You're gonna wait fucking forever to have a kid? No, you fucking had them, Kevin. When you had your kids, what was it the best time to have them? Because you just kind of told us about your whole 20s. Seemed kind of rocky.
Yeah.
but yeah, you still have 2 fucking kids.
Yeah, London is like, bro, top 12% of students in the country in almost every single thing study-wise. She's like the best person to talk to. She's super friendly. She loves video games. She loves going to school, like all this stuff. And I was not in the position to be having a kid at the time.
But did you have one?
Had one. And then Camila was planned, but not planned. Like, we were wanting a kid. We were definitely trying, but it came about. But even during that time, we were like, are we really ready? But who knows? OMG, for example, this weekend, we have a deadline that we set ourselves for Sunday for some stuff. Truthfully, could we have had it 3-4 weeks ago? Probably. But even then, we're still going to continue to improve. You know, imagine if we were sitting there, we never started somebody, we would have never figured out that what we're trying to do on Sunday would be the best route. Sometimes you don't figure out how to actually execute more things in your life and how to actually improve until you're in it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta stop thinking about it and just start doing shit. And here's the last thing. There's one last thing about I need to save money. I want to tell you something right now, everyone. The longer you spend your time pinching pennies together, is the longer you're going to be reminding yourself that you're broke as fuck. Because money is a tool for you to utilize to invest in yourself or invest in something that's going to sit there. If you're just hoarding money and you're just pinching pennies, again, you're trying to stay in a life of comfort to where you're comfortable being in a situation where you're okay with feeling broke.
Yep.
Because here's the thing, no matter what, you can always find more. But until you start utilizing, again, you can have a hammer, you can have nails, you can have fucking wrenches, you can have all this shit. But unless you actually put those tools to work, no house is going to get built.
Nope.
So
Nope.
you sitting there thinking about it, your body's a tool that ain't going to fucking do anything until you start using it. That
Right.
money that you're saying, oh, I gotta save, is it, are you really, or are you just saying that because you just think yourself is broke, or is it really going to turn the lights off, or is it really going to take food off the table, or is it just more so, I don't know if I should do this, but yet I spend about $300 a month on apps and apps and Starbucks and things that make me feel sad that I think I need more of, but doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
Time to grow the fuck up, people.
Yeah.
Time to wake up. Stop doing the things that you've been doing, expecting different results. Stop going down these lives of comfort because you hate this fucking feeling so much, but you're just used to it. Here's the thing. And oh my God, I'm about to fucking go off here right now. You know what someone just said to me? He said, lose weight. Are you fucking kidding me? You don't want to work hard? You don't want to work hard to lose weight? What, you think sitting there eating all the fucking food you did was hard? Yeah, it was fucking pretty hard. Sitting there all the time, stressed, depressed, sad, upset because you look at yourself in the mirror and you fucking hate everything you see every morning. That's fucking hard.
That's hard.
That's fucking hard. Physically, you might not be sitting there panting and exhausting, but mentally you're fucking dying. That's fucking hard. I've been there. It's fucking hard. Eating food every day, getting into a cycle of binge and purge and throwing up every single meal you eat is fucking hard. Breaking that cycle is fucking hard. Building a business is fucking hard. Getting abs are fucking hard. I don't have genetics. I was fat as fuck.
And the thing about it, like the thing about the world right now is that like
it's not easy. No one's fucking coming. Go back to our 5th fucking recording. No one's coming.
Yeah. And then also people are mean. It's like getting made fun of when you're not in tip-top condition as a person. You know, health is one of those things. You know, if you're out of shape, you get made fun of. Sorry, that's just social life. That's hard.
Yeah, it's called growing up in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Welcome to our fucking world. This whole body positivity and all this positivity nonsense where you guys use positivity to now go shit on other people. Get the fuck over yourself.
Yeah.
You are literally jumping on a bandwagon to now project your own insecurities onto other fucking people because someone said this about someone that did something wrong. Well, guess what? People make fucking mistakes. Get off their fucking back.
Mm-hmm.
You've made so many mistakes, yet you think it's okay for you to go now talk about other people's sins when yours are sitting there fucking boiling?
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up.
Everyone's a saint.
No, like that's the thing. And here's the funny fucking part. And like people that grew up in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, like when the way to get popular and make friends and all this shit was to cut other fucking people down, put them below you, that was called growing up in a real shitty fucking time. Mm-hmm. I wish there's this whole body positivity and no one ripped on anyone for, I wish I grew up in that whole millennial stage and fucking whatever they call them, alpha. Who the fuck gave them out? Anyway, whatever. Yeah, I would love to grow up in that. That's not the reality. Okay, but here's the funny twist. It's still the same shit, but they jump on a bandwagon of someone else's positivity to go shit on someone else because they made a mistake. Yeah, I don't agree that you should rip on other people. I think it's fucking childish. But if that person learns a lesson, then don't continue to shit on the person saying, oh, you did this. No, it's called holding someone in the past and saying someone can't fucking grow. Maybe instead of shitting on someone, being like, yeah, you know what? You made a mistake, but you know what? You learned from this. Just don't make it again and try to be a better person. You know what? I'd love to see more comments like that instead of people saying, yeah, you fucking idiot. You should have done it. You still sound like a fucking nether keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
Time to grow some perspective here. Grow the fuck up. Start making choices that are going to grow you. Mm-hmm. Stop living these lives of, oh, I need comfort and all this and I don't want to work. Grow the fuck up. Life's hard. Going through shit's hard. But guess what? If you're sick of being broke, if you're sick of looking at yourself in the mirror and hating what you see, if you're sick of saying, I hate why this life always happens to me, time to fucking go do something. Mm-hmm. Time to go change what you're doing. Stop thinking about the things that you've been thinking about that led you to the same thing here. Stop doing the same shit that got you here.
Even if it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy. You're going to go and you're going to have really shitty days. Whether it's you're growing a business, you're changing your body, or you're having a kid, you're having a family, whatever the fuck it is, there's going to be ebbs and flows to the whole fucking thing. It's now time to start taking actions and stop living this life of I'm comfortable here because I'm used to this, even though I'm not comfortable. Time to get fucking uncomfortable.
Yep.
Because the only place you're going to see growth is in the places of uncomfort.
100%. 100%.
I literally got red in the face there. Holy shit. Clearly that call this morning just set me right off.
We both have those moments on this podcast where we get reminded of something mid-episode and we're like, fuck. Why did I remember this now?
Yeah.
Oh, man, but that's just part of everything. It's just frustrations and learning how to express yourself and whatnot. But nonetheless, Pod-A-Holics episode 22. Okay. Why you need to put yourself in situations that may not always be ideal. Let us know if you guys have any questions about anything related to fitness, OMG, or just anything in general. Some of you guys that do listen to this, you guys message me on occasions, which is super cool. You ask me some questions, business related. I love it. I don't mind. I don't care how big I am. I will always try to go and respond back to the people that are in my DMs. And I had somebody the other day, they were like, was that you in the DMs? Was that really you? I said, yeah, I do my DMs. Like,
yeah, I literally have people saying, like, I can't believe you messaged me. And I go, why?
Yeah.
It's something crazy. Like, just like, I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of weird.
But
like, I'm a normal person just like you.
Much love, y'all. Peace. Follow us on or subscribe to the YouTube. Linked it in the comments there. Follow Corey on all social medias. Follow me on all social medias. And let us know. Did you relate? Comment relate if you got all the way to the end of this. Peace out.